Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you are catching my blog. So the blog showed you a couple of different backgrounds using alcohol inks. Now the alcohol available from Amazon I think is slightly different brand wise post COVID. I got this pre-COVID, but ideally you need at least 99% isopropanol alcohol, and you need to use alcohol blends. So what I'm going to show you is how I created the kind of beach and sky scenes. So as I'm doing skies, I have a range of colours. I've got light night of navy, light misty moonlight, dark balmy blue and light balmy blue. And I have a piece of vellum. So have your vellum cut. You generally need the kind of fatter end of the alcohol. Now the reason we do it onto vellum is because vellum doesn't absorb the alcohol, so we just put splats of each colour, and depending on how stormy or light you want your sky, depends on how you ink it up. And essentially just get playing, and perhaps even for the first time you use this, do the more random background of the first card that I showed. And you could see from that card essentially I just used Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, and I can't remember the other colour that I used, but by creating the background and then picking two of the colours, you really did get a lovely background that was really quite kind of flexible, and by picking out different card colours gave you a completely different look. So this technique does not work on a standard card base because it absorbs the alcohol. So that alcohol is sitting slightly on top of the card. So then I take my isopropanol alcohol. That's just picking up a bit of the yellow. And then essentially I dab it onto the card. Now this will be different every time you create it, so don't ever try and create this and have something in mind that you need to create something perfect. Because we're crafting, and that's not perfect's nice, but you know, it doesn't always work that way. But you can see what happens is that alcohol just causes all those colours to blend in. So you can use any paintbrush that's it's just I've also seen people use like a bit of sponge or something to add the alcohol. It's just something to transport the alcohol to your paper. Now obviously what I don't want it to do is merge too much in with my beach, so I'm just going to move that around slightly. As I say, you do kind of need to be a little bit flexible about how this turns out. I add a little bit of that's light pumpkin pie because I just find it, see, sand, see, whatever I'm doing, sand is not exactly one colour, so it just added a bit of dimension. Now also keep a tissue handy, because if that was starting to go too far, you can just blot it off. So don't, as I say, I would just suggest having a bit of fun playing around with it and seeing what happens. And if you do a kind of more general piece to start with, you won't be quite so keen, but I thought I'd just show you how I got that effect with those two cards of the sand and the sky. You don't want to cover it in alcohol, but you do just need to get it to spread. So it only works with alcohol inks. It will not work with water-based inks, because essentially the alcohol is what's causing that blend. So that then needs to dry before you start creating any design with it, and do use it in a ventilated room, because you are using it with alcohol, which is quite strong in its smell. So hopefully that's clear, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Let me know in the comments whether you give this technique a try. Speak to you soon. Bye.